Let's go to our panel this morning. Political scientist Lara Greaves is here and CEO of the Auckland Business Chamber, Simon Bridges. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you for the new year, both of you. What are you expecting we will see from, like, politics-wise? Who's going to come out of the gates, charging for 2026?
I don't know. It doesn't really feel like the vibe to do charging at the moment, given the tragedies around the country. But I feel as though also we'll see maybe some retirements, because I've noticed the retirement list is starting for the beginning of the year and the seat selections and the bits and pieces. I don't know if anything much is charging. A lot of people are thinking more about, like the US and thinking about Trump, his moves on Greenland, Venezuela, and, the response to that. So I don't know, actually. New Zealand politics is starting a bit slow burn this year.
Okay. The weather is setting the agenda.
Weather, I think there's true. I think, and I hear what you say, Lara, we've got this tragedy and it seems, but this is one of the least substantive, most boring parliaments, I think, on record. I mean, has anything of any substance happened this term? I mean, I genuinely ask you that. Is anything going to happen of any substance this year? I doubt it, frankly. Will we have announcements from Labour? No. Will we have them from National? No. It's probably why Winston's polling well, because people can at least remember when he's done some substantive things at some stage in his career.
They can clutch their gold cards and remember.
Correct.
But, I mean, hang on. Your colleagues will say RMA reform. I mean, there's a list as long as your arm. Greyhounds.
But let's think about, great. But let's think about RMA reform. Like, at one level, yes, good substantive stuff for the long term. I mean, a cynic would say, and people do say to me, it's repackaging what Labour did. Now, arguably, it's a fair bit better than that, but the effects are so far in the future, kind of, if ever. So let's just see on that. Who give me some evidence of someone who's done some big substantive thinking over the summer and come back and said, right, here's kind of where New Zealand needs to go after a period of malaise and problems. I'm not sure I see it.
No.
Mark Carney, the Canadian Prime Minister, he's been doing something.
Yeah, but he's in the wrong continent.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
In the wrong hemisphere.
And this is I love that we're agreeing on this, because I feel like we've just been doing politics as usual. We have a whole bunch of challenges, obviously, like climate change.
But it's not politics as usual. That's actually the point, isn't it?
But it's very managerial. It's very,
I agree.
It's very kind of that kind of, that period of kind of sort of calm. I know it wasn't calm, there were the Christchurch earthquakes, all of that post-GFC period, that managerial politics. It's like, we need something to happen that's a bit more substantive.
Okay.
That's
the economy, the climate change. Those are the things
so we're arguing about who's the best people to kind of manage the circumstances we're in. I don't know. Call me old-fashioned. I'd like a bit more than that from my politicians.
Same.
I'd like I don't even need vision. A plan, a vague plan would be good. Is anyone showing us that?
Well, I mean, Luxon will tell you here's my question.
What is it?
Well, get interest rates down.
The Reserve Bank. The Reserve Bank has done that.
Lower government spending so that can happen. I mean, this is what he says. I'm not defending this plan, by the way. But my question is, how did we get here? How did we get to managerial politics? To politicians being so scared of doing anything to the point where the country muddles along below average, when it comes to growth.
We're talking about MMP now.
Well, are we?
The party system, because that's the thing that, I've been looking a lot at MMP. I mean, it's my literal job, right? And thinking about the way that those conditions create this kind of politics where, before we had what was called an elective dictatorship, Labour or National, whoever was the government under first past the post could do something. And they did big things, they did big things like, the fourth Labour government, and then the National continuing on, you think of that 80s, 90s period, there's that great, series Juggernaut by Toby Manhire on that as an assigned listening for everyone. But, we could have those big changes. Now we're kind of in this interesting MMP deadlock where we also don't have any centre parties. It's near impossible for a party to get to 5%, to actually have any kind of new ideas and new thinking.
Totally right.
So we're kind of locked into the system that did have its positives early on, and coalition governments can be great, but it's
so back to the bad old days, Simon.
Well, this is a rabbit hole, but look, someone was asking me. someone was asking me about, Top, for example. Great, look, she's probably got amazing ideas. They have 0% chance of getting to Parliament, right?
Yeah,
so good on some people for wanting to push them. Why? Because in the end, our system shows, unless you've got a big member of Parliament who's driving the thing. In fairness, the entire Western democracy sort of system, if you want to call that, is at a level in malaise. Go to Germany, go to France, go to Britain, Canada. You make an interesting point, but even Canada, Western democracy is sort of not. And I'm not arguing against it. I like democracy, but that's got problems. I think social media just this sort of clickbait, reels, everything's got to be in 3
Yeah,
seconds.
okay, you've told us what's wrong. How do we fix it?
Well, a lot of the kind of political scientists, again, you can take that with a grain of salt as to how realistic some of this will be, are looking at deliberative democracy and things like citizens' assemblies. You randomly select 100 people. You can't force them to go. You lock them in the Pullman or somewhere. You give them the little conference mints, and you have experts and all sorts of like lobbyists and whoever it is come and present on an issue. This like panel of a normal 100 people, again, come up with a solution, some ideas, some recommendations. Unfortunately, the politicians then have to say yes or no, so the power goes back to them. But
Yeah,
something
I'm
that
not
involves
convinced
more
by this.
normal
They did
people.
this in Napier with the swimming pool.
Yes.
And everyone went in. They got 40 people and paid them $500 for 5 meetings or something. And then they decided that actually we can't really decide what to do.
Less money than consultants.
True. So we're just basically good morning. Welcome to 2026. We're all screwed. And
No, it's not that. Relatively speaking, I mean, no, because irrespective of all that politics, which is a load of nonsense, by the way, irrespective of all of that, actually, New Zealand, I mean, we've had a terrible tragedy. I get all that, and it is an awful. I know that area very well. But irrespective of all that, New Zealand's really well placed because actually the world's turned into chaos. We know all that. We go through all of that. We're a safe haven at the bottom of the world. I think the economy's gradually getting a bit better, touch wood, and with a few caveats around that. So no, I feel pretty optimistic. I'm just saying to you, in terms of the political system, it would be nice to see some, like you talk about the fourth Labour government. Where's our kind of, it's not the same again, but where's the next kind of set of significant ideas that anyone is putting out there?
all right, we'll leave it there, guys. Good to see you both.
Just some big issues.
That was not in our talking point cards.
No, I know.
I talk about the Beckhams.
Do you know I didn't even look? I just
By the way, I just want to say, so before they start ringing me, I like them all. They're all good people. I just like a bit more.
Nah, do you know
I'm just
what?
the crazy uncle encouraging more.
Do you know what? You may identify yourself as the crazy uncle, but I've spoken to many crazy uncles over the summer break who completely agree with everything you've just said.
Well, that's slightly.
They're all useless.
gratifying.
They're
And
all
the
useless.
academic evidence backs it up.
Exactly. Lara, always good to have you here too. Simon and Lara for your panel this morning. 29.